As we are seeing today in the aftermath of some of those significant rains, sometimes life can be altered with weather emergencies. Crews continue their work to repair our roads and infrastructure after this morning, but inconveniences, they do happen. Our guest today is going to tell us the best things to have in cases of emergencies at home. Of course, this also comes on the verge of hurricane season, which we are always mindful of here in Texas. Chief Meteorologist Shel Winkley back with us. Shel, some early projections, I guess, that are out right now, but also an early storm out in the waters.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty interesting situation. Now, Colorado State University has put out their official forecast for the season so far. NOAA, the official one from the government, hasn't come out yet, but we do have something kind of brewing in the tropics. Let's start with that prediction from Colorado State, a highly sought forecast for the year. And because it's an El Nino year, the numbers are lower. Looking for about 7 named storms. That's up around tropical storm strength, 3 hurricanes, one of which could be a major one. Now, El Nino usually brings a slower hurricane season, but not to say that it isn't still possible. Hurricane season officially starts June 1st. Take a look east of Florida today. That disturbed area of weather that you see, those brighter colors, that's an area of interest for the National Hurricane Center. In the next 2 days, a 60% chance that we could see a pre-hurricane season storm or subtropical storm form. If it did, it would be named Ana, and it would be the earliest storm to form since 2013. Those lines are the forecast path for the potential for this low pressure system, which right now points towards the Carolinas as a low-grade tropical storm moving up the East Coast.
All right, Shel, thank you very much. Will Welch is here with the Texas A&M Engineering Extension Service. You have a long business card.
Yes, we do. Abbreviation TEEX. Yes.
Exactly. And the point that we really want to make today, especially with the weather we had overnight, emergencies can happen at any time, not just in that hurricane season window.
Exactly. Of course, hurricane season is a great time to take a look at your plans and make sure you have what you need. It's kind of like changing your batteries in your fire alarm when the time changes. But it's really something we need to be prepared for year round.
So we got the magic bag back out. I know we've featured it on the show before, but this is like the ultimate survival for a few days kit that a family can have here. What are the big highlights?
Well, the big highlights, of course, are food and water. You want to make sure that you have 72 hours at a minimum of food and water, 1 gallon per day per person when it comes to the water to get through those times until relief can get to you. Really, 72 hours is about as far as you can conceive you need to go in this area, but you have more. It's always good to be a little bit more prepared.
Absolutely.
So food, water, we always say make a plan, get a kit, stay informed. Part of your plan needs to be communications. A little CB radio I've got here is handheld. It's also got the NOAA weather radio on it, so that you can take care of that and you can interoperable communications with your family. You want to make sure that you have your medications that are necessary as well. I have some freeze-dried food here, some supplies, spare batteries. I always like to take along as well some gloves that I keep in my kit.
Sure.
And one of the neat things that we've seen here recently are a lot of people, especially in their safe room, in their interior of their home, are putting spare bike helmets from their kids in there because you can really stave off some of those potential head injuries that can occur in high winds.
Now, you have a meal ready to eat right here. Of course, people associate that with the military, but these are available to the general public as well?
Those are available to the general public, or something like this, which is the same thing. This is an individual meal that's a little bit smaller. You can find them at all different price points. Online is the best place to check it out.
The tape that we have down here as well. You talk about the gloves as well. There might be some handiwork that needs to be done.
You know, there's nothing better than, I use gaffer's tape. I like it a little bit better than duct tape. And in any environment, I think we've got some plastic down here. This is a large contractor trash bag, but it can also be used to seal off a window in some type of contamination, and you use the tape for that as well, or just use it for trash.
And I know some of our newsroom staff absolutely loves it, but coffee, actually creature comfort, as you refer to it.
Creature comforts. You know, a disaster, you need the things. You need the things that will help you survive. But to me, a disaster, if I can have a small creature comfort in disaster, then that makes a huge difference. So this is just a little coffee press, and you put your coffee in there in your hot water and squeeze it out into your cup, and you have a nice piping hot cup of coffee for you. So those little creature comforts are something I like to throw in my bag as well.
So as far as the medication is concerned, you mentioned obviously that is very important. Is that something you have on hand, you've gotten separate, that you stow away separately and refresh every year or so?
Well,
How do you work with that?
You know, it depends on the expiration date. You can work with your physician to have an emergency supply on hand. There's a lot of different ways that you can do that, your pharmacy as well. Oh, and the other thing that we like to talk about, Steve, is making sure you have those documents.
Sure.
You know, the stuff that's in your house for insurance purposes, all of that stuff.
This is remarkable right
Why
here.
carry a piece of paper when you can have a USB drive attached to your wrist?
And this is a Texas A&M Forest Service band, but
Yes.
these are available out there.
They were giving these away the other day. It's one of their conference giveaways, so this didn't cost anything.
For
So,
people like
yes.
me who are skeptical about maybe losing that and then losing all of my information.
Well, you know, there's ways to encrypt those files before you put them on, and in fact, there's another product called a TAC drive, which has encryption on it as well, and that's a waterproof, shockproof, drop-proof TAC drive that will go through just about anything. It's been through my washer and dryer 4 or 5 times.
TEEX's website has more information when it comes
Exactly.
to this.
TEEX.org, go to resources, and then there's all the information you need, checklists, all the prepping information that you need for storms.
Again, TEEX.org. Click on resources. They've got plenty of information there for you. We'll link that at kbtx.com as well. And we want the magic bag back in about a year or so, just to remind people, because it's always fun to see you go through this stuff. Will, appreciate it, my brother. Thank you,
Always good to see you, Steve.
Yes, sir.